In today's video, we will explain step by step what has become one of the indicators that indicate reversals or trend changes with one of the highest percentages of win rate in the world, and in turn learn to combine it with other indicators to create a strategy that we can use profitably in all types of assets, stocks, forex, cryptocurrencies, and also in different temporalities, both low-more scalping style, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, as for day trading in temporality of 1 hour. Welcome to the Trader's Game. And before we start, remember that in the description you have the links to join us in our Telegram community, where every day we post charts and analysis of what is happening in the financial markets. And also the trading bonus page, which has been updated and have added new promotions and free bonuses for all those who are starting in the world of trading. Do not forget to leave your email if you want to receive a weekly newsletter with everything that has happened during those days. Well, we are already in the chart, in this case in the Bitcoin with USDT, in 1 hour time frame, because I want you to see all the information that gives us this indicator first in hourly time frame, then we will go down to 5 and 15 minutes. We look for the KS Reversal Indicator 1 by Sofian Kabar, click on it, and we get something like this. As you can see, the indicator shows us almost perfect reversal zones. That's why I said that it is one of the indicators with the highest win rate, and that gives us more information in the world. It is very important that you keep in mind that in the settings part you can modify them according to the volatility of the asset you operate, in this case for cryptocurrencies, for Bitcoin, and for more volatile stocks such as Tesla you can leave them by default, and for Forex and other assets I recommend that you adapt it to your liking. In the style part, more of the same, you can place some stronger colors to be better marked according to the background color of our chart. And now we are going to add first one of the most basic indicators of all life, the MACD, the convergence divergence of the moving average, to give us an extra confidence in our entries. That is here, for example here, which gives us a buy signal just at the close of this candle. If you look at the MACD, we also come from a crossover to the upside relatively recently. In fact, if we directly mark that crossing, we can see how it was only a couple of hours ago, while that range is formed, and already down here the upper indicator gives us that confirmation. The lines that marks us as if they were the possible stop loss are simply indicative, since we have to study the moment in which we are, the area, and if we should put the stop loss there, higher or lower. In this case, if you look at this entry occurs between 2 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, at 2:30 UTC plus 2 there are always new macroeconomic data, and a little later there is the opening of the American market, so it is not an area where I want to have a fixed stop loss, because I know there is going to be a lot of volatility. Effectively, this volatility occurs a few hours later, and the price first falls, but then recovers and follows its trend path. Then what I do to calculate my operations is to calculate where the indicator marks us that stop loss suggestion, just calculate it, but not put it, and place my first take profit in a ratio 1:1 with that distance that has marked us. Then if we want to mark other areas of take profit, we can place another in ratio 2, or even ratio 2.5, as in 1 hour temporality usually gives us these signals when we can take advantage of a fairly pronounced trends. Here the same thing would happen to us. In the MACD we have a cut, in this case negative, down, with which a few hours later we have a signal again. In this case, in short, we place our stop loss by the previous highs or by the indicator mark, the first take profit at 1:1 ratio. There, for example, we could lower our stop loss to break even, just in case it turns around, so that we continue in positive. And after having already collected that first part of the operation, we could look for a second take profit at 2:1 ratio. As you can see, even the trend remains bearish for a long time, until again we have other entry zones, where we perfectly mark that great reversal and a new trend begins. And how can we apply all this in lower time frames? Very simple, we go to the 5-minute temporality, where we have more failures in those operations. That is to say, we would need to filter them a little more with another indicator, and it is nothing more and nothing less than the super trend, one of the most famous indicators in the world. In this case, we would go to configuration. In the style part, we are going to remove practically everything that bothers us, and we will only leave those green and red waves that we will mark with a little more intensity, leaving us something like this. In the data entry part, we will remove the show buy and sell signals. We do not need it, and the time frame indicator, we will remove it from the chart and we will put it directly in 5 minutes. Yes, I know that we are already in 5 minutes temporality, but placing it also in the super trend makes it clearer that we will only use it in 5 minutes. Well, I think that visually you can see how these indicators would work together. First of all, we see that here we would mark a long entry, where we also see that MACD makes a positive upward cut, indicating that the price can begin to rise. In this case, after forming a range, it rises perfectly, but if you look at it again, gives us a clearer entry a little later. We simply place our operation, the stop loss, at the previous lows or at the mark that gives us the KS reversal indicator. In this case, being in short time frames, we are going to put that stop loss fixed, and then again to our liking, ratio 1:1 for the first take profit and the second to ratio 2:1. As you can see, it works spectacularly well, and again in this case we would have an entry in short, and this is why we add the super trend 5 minutes. We see that it is an uptrend with that green color. Then we should only look for shorts when the super trend is in green. What happens is that in this case we should not take that operation. If we continue a little further forward, exactly the same thing happens. We have 2 other entries. We would also exit this one in positive, but you see that the trend would soon continue downwards. So being that super trend in red and being the signal in long, we would not take that operation. The same thing would happen at this point. And a little further back we can see how this combination will also save us from entering at this point, from entering at this other point, and as you can see here we do have the correct signal, bearish super trend in red, the MACD also making a downward cut, and bearish entry signal, take profit number 2, and as you can see the price would still continue to fall. The most important thing about this strategy is to have clear all the points that we have seen in this video, and that especially in hourly time frame you can take advantage of the trends almost completely, something that is very difficult to achieve with other indicators. Please try it and tell us in the description what you think, if you are already using it to improve those profits, and if you like our work, leave us a nice like, it's free. Finally, do not forget that in the description you have our free Telegram community and the official page of Trading Bonus, where you can find the best promotions and bonuses of the best platforms for trading in cryptos, forex, or traditional markets. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video of the Trader's Game.